Welcome back, everyone. It's Eric from Rare Candy, and here today we are back on PTCGO taking a look at the homie Alakazam V today. So this was actually a deck I wanted to post last week, but I ended up getting sick, so I wasn't able to record it. But I wanted to make an Alakazam deck just to celebrate the release of Kadabra. Kadabra is now officially allowed to be printed as a card in the TCG again, so I want to kind of celebrate this good news by trying out the new Alakazam V. Now, we'll say this isn't probably one of my favorite decks from the new Vivid Voltage set, but Alakazam's a cool Pokemon. He doesn't get printed often, so I definitely wanted to try it out. But before we get too deep in this actual deck, if you guys can, remember, smack that like button. It genuinely really does help get this video out to more people on YouTube. And if you need any cards to complete this deck or any others, you guys can check out our friends at PTCGOstore.com and use that coupon code RARECANDY at checkout to save yourself some money. And our patrons at patreon.com/rarecandytcg also have their own exclusive discount code of their own for an even bigger discount. So if you guys do need some cards for the online game, check out our friends at PTCGOstore.com. But getting back into the actual deck today, if you guys aren't too familiar with Alakazam V, we're mainly playing it for this second attack here, Mind Ruler, for 2 Psychic, just 30 times the amount of cards in your opponent's hand. So, that's not too bad. If your opponent has, like let's just say a 6-card hand, you can hit for, 180, which, is not quite enough against a lot of things. So you can see that's where Alakazam struggles. Its damage output is very contingent upon how many cards your opponent has in their hand. But with that being said, we do have some ways at getting around that. So the main way, we do have a 4/4 Alcremie line. Alcremie has the Sharing Sweets ability. Whenever you evolve into it, you get to have each player draw a card. So this is basically plus 30 every time you play it down, and you also get to draw a card yourself, so not too bad. So we're playing the thick line of this. We, of course, have 4 Scoop Up nets to reuse our Alcremie over and over. After we use one, we can pick up the Evolution line and rebench our Milcery. We also have 4 copies of Surprise Box in the deck. So this is a card that says put a card from your opponent's discard into their hand. So this is basically another plus 30 damage per turn. And a lot of times your opponent is going to be discarding resources they don't need. Cards that aren't good in certain matchups for them. So a lot of times you can put cards they don't even want back into their hand to clog up their hand on future turns. Then from there, the only other card we have to manipulate our opponent's hand size is going to be Erica. So this is a card I never thought I would really play in a deck, but here we go. We are doing it today. It says each player may draw up to 3 cards and you draw first. So unfortunately, this isn't like the old Erica all the way back from Gym Heroes. That one forced both players to draw. Your opponent does have the option to draw, which means they can sort of play around your attacks. But I mean, if they're not drawing cards, that's also kind of a good thing sometimes, because giving them cards is usually a bad thing you don't want to do. So if they're choosing not to draw, that still in a way is kind of a positive for you as well. So those are all of our ways at manipulating our opponent's hand size. I guess Gengar Mimikyu also kind of counts for the Horror House GX attack, but Gengar Mimikyu is kind of nice because Poltergeist does 50 times. Now, it's only limited to trainer cards, but nevertheless, Gengar Mimikyu is a little bit tankier as well and has a good GX attack we can abuse if we do need to. Speaking of GX attacks, we also have a copy of Latios GX. Since we are a deck based around Psychic Energy, we can actually abuse Latios, which is pretty good for that Clear Vision GX attack. So for the rest of the game, your opponent can't use any GX attacks. So, of course, this is going to be most notably for things like Arceus Palkia GX, but also things like Pikarom as well. There's definitely a bunch of good GX attacks worth shutting off, but mainly for ADP. So looking at our Pokemon line, we also have a copy of Hoopa in here. I really liked Hoopa because it's our only Pokemon in the deck that can attack for a single energy. I mean, I guess Alakazam can, but its first attack, really not the greatest thing. So Evil Admonition sometimes can come in, soften up your opponent, especially if we're going against like a VMAX deck and Alakazam struggles to one-shot them. Evil Admonition can come in, just soften them up, maybe 70, 90 damage, something like that, just to get in that first chip damage before you come in with your Alakazam or Gengar Mimikyu to finish them off. So looking at the rest of the trainer cards, we do have 4 copies of Turbo Patch. I do think this is probably a necessary evil just because our Alakazam is a 2 attachment attacker. If our only Alakazam gets knocked out, it's going to be 2 turns before we can get up and attacking again. And I think that's just kind of unacceptable if we ever want to have a shot at winning with this deck. So we are unfortunately having to play the 4 copies of Turbo Patch. We also have 1 copy of Chaotic Swell. It's going to be our stadium of choice. We have 2 Air Balloon for free retreat. And looking at our energies, of course, we have the 4 copies of Horror Psychic Energy just to make sure our opponent takes some additional damage when they attack into us. And we still need some basic energies to make use of Turbo Patch with as well. So that's going to be the Alakazam list we are going to try out. Again, not sure Alakazam is the greatest Pokemon currently in the game, but fingers crossed, we're going to try to get some dubs today on PTCGO. So right away we see the Pikarom deck box. Let's see how this one is going to go. I've not yet played against Pikarom with this deck. I mean, it might not even be Pikarom, but if it is, I'm not sure how it's going to go for us. They're going to choose to go first as kind of expected here. Okay, but it's going to be Zacian. So there's going to be the Intrepid Sword here. Now, there is a world where if we can get the Horror House off with Gengar Mimikyu, we might be in a good spot to actually just win. So I think I'm actually... I think we're just going to research. I want to save our bench space if possible. Because we should have another Alakazam at our disposal as well, but... Well, I guess actually if we whiff the... Yeah, we're just going to toss all this away. Okay, so we actually can get there. It is possible. So we're definitely going to do Air Balloon no matter what here. Now, it's a little bit risky because if we whiff the Turbo Patch, we're suddenly in a really bad spot. And our follow-up for next turn is not that good either, so we might even have to just Quick Ball. Let's see what we have in deck. Okay, we do have the Gengar Mimikyu. I'm actually kind of tempted to go for the Dene and keep digging here. Oh wait, can we actually just get a knockout right now with Alakazam? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we should be able to. So yeah, I think we're actually cool with going for the Turbo Patch on this guy either way. So let's go for the Turbo Patch here. We do get Tails, which is unfortunate. But if we can still hit Turbo Patch heads and attachment, we can still win that way. Or just Gengar Mimikyu would also be fine. We need one of those two cards. We need a way to get Gengar Mimikyu, or we need a way to get Turbo Patch. So going for the Crobat V, let's see what we get. Okay, so we have a couple outs. We actually hit the perfect two cards, to be honest. So Turbo Patch, we need this heads. And we do get there, so we can actually just take the dub immediately here on the Zacian deck with the Mind Ruler attack. So who would have thought just nuking Zacian V turn 1 here. So that's one good thing about Zacian V. Intrepid Sword does kind of set up the damage for you. So yeah, gonna take the quick dub on Zacian. Hopefully that's not our only win that we're gonna have today though. Okay, so our opponent is going to call the flip, which we lose, but... Oh, they're gonna make us go first. So it looks like they are playing some sort of welder-based deck. I would imagine between the Fire Sleeves and wanting to go second, that would make sense. Now we do need to find energy. That's our next step here. So we're gonna go for the quick ball. I think we're just gonna toss a research at this point. It looks like, okay. Question is, do we power up Alakazam or do we power up Gengar Mimikyu? I think going first, I kind of prefer Gengar Mimikyu. Yeah, sure, why not? And I think from there, we're just going to probably get rid of the... I kind of want to save, well, I think we'll discard Latios. I was thinking about saving it just to increase our odds of being able to use communication, but... So we could scoop up Net preemptively to get an extra card. Yeah, we'll say sure. Seems okay. And we'll just go for Crobat. Okay, so that's pretty good. So we can just get down the Horror Psychic Energy from there, and I think we're just cool to pass. There's Crushing Hammer. Can we just, like, not play against the deck that plays hammers? That would be great. So at least they flip tails. That's one thing we do have going for us. So if they're playing hammers, is this Torkoal? Torkoal could be a sketchy matchup for us, if that is the case. Okay, so it looks like they are powering up this Volk. Luckily, the Heat Fire doesn't really change the math for us to take a knockout if we need to. Probably just going to see the Flare Starter, imagine. I mean, their hand's not looking too good right this second. So there is the High Heat Blast, or I'm sorry, the... Oh, so yeah, they are just going to go for the High Heat Blast. Very interesting. Okay, so we could go for the Horror House GX, refill their hand and knock them out. But I mean, if their hand's like kind of dead, I don't know if we even really want to give them. I kind of want to just be able to knock this guy out and call it a day, to be honest. So I think we will. Then we're going to communication, start things off. We'll go for Alcremie. I think we'll give them Mallow and Lana back, I want to say. Because ideally we're just going to be going for one-shots. So we'll give them... Yeah, all the other cards really don't want them to have it. Switch or Mallow and Lana I think has to be the one they choose. But we're going to do the Mallow and Lana. It's probably best here. Then from there, I think we're just going to attach and go for the research. So, I mean, we could go for the Whorehouse. Then we need 3 items or 3 trainers in hand. That's one thing I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get out of a 3-card hand. If we go for the Horror House that does refill their hand, I think I'd rather just go for the... I say we're going to risk it and go for the Poltergeist. Unfortunately, we whiff. That was a little bit greedy on our part, I will admit, guys. Feels bad. Okay, so there's the communications. Probably just going to go for the Centiskorch V. That seems good. If that is what they do decide to do here. Oh, but actually if they attack into our Gengar Mimikyu, again, I forgot we have our special energy, so they would actually get knocked out, coming back into our turn, which feels pretty good. So we might even see a Flare Starter from them, just to attempt to get their Centiskorch powered up a little bit more. But interesting, we're seeing the hammers with Centiskorch here. Yeah, they're fitting all sorts of weird stuff in here. They have the hammers, they have the Heat Fires, they have Mallow and Lana. I feel like a lot of the Centiskorch lists I've been seeing lately have been more just straightforward, cutting all the fat out of the decks. I think the only thing a lot of them play now is like a scoop up net engine with like Jirachis and stuff like that, but there's the Volk. More likely we are going to see the Centiskorch hit the bench here. There's the Wonder Lab. Okay, so that's annoying. That definitely is annoying for us. I didn't check to see if our Chaotic Swell was in deck. Hey, they are going to knock us out. That's fantastic. Or not knock us out, attack us, because that knocks them out. So that's good. We can get the Alcremie here, which is good because that now actually gives us a communication target to go with it. So I think we will... There's a Roborby Horror House this turn if we do decide to. So we're going to communication first. Probably just grab the Milcery here. We do have our Swell in deck, so that is important to note. We have 3 Turbo Patches left as well. So yeah, let's just do this, that's fine. I think we'll just do this. Attach here, unfortunately, because if we don't have Swell, I do want to actually go for the fully powered Horror House GX. And this way we can still, it's like kind of hammer proofs us a little bit as well. So from there, we're just going to go for the research. Okay, so for the moment, I think we actually just kind of chill with this hand. Yeah, I don't want to give them any cards back just yet. And we could play down our hand to draw some cards as well, but I actually kind of want to save this hand for the moment if possible. So yeah, we'll just go for the Horror House, make them refresh their hand here, and hopefully we can knock out Centiskorch after the fact here. So we do need 5 trainer cards to knock them out. Oh, and we just get the victory screen. So I was feeling pretty good about that. We had the surprise box and the Alcremie to go with it. So, and they had a huge 8-card hand. So more than likely we were going to knock out the Centiskorch either way. So hey, going to take the dub against Centiskorch. Don't feel bad about that. Okay, so our opponent has a Charizard VMAX deck box and a really cool coin. I guess, is this one of the coins that you get with those new like Zacian and Zamazenta like super premium collections? I've never seen that before. Okay, so unfortunately this hand is not too great. Now if we top deck a Pokemon, this hand gets substantially better because then we could get an attachment down. There's going to be Eternatus. There's a chance we just lose here, so I think for the moment we're just going to click done. But yeah, all they need is attachment, Zigzagoon, and that's going to be game. Which that would get us back for getting that easy win against Zacian earlier, so I guess that would only be fair if the same happens to us, but hopefully that's not the case. Oh, they have Leon, though. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, man. Okay, we had that one coming to us. Okay, so it looks like our opponent's going to call the coin flip. You see the Charizard breaks in coin. I've never seen that one before. It's kind of cool. But yeah, sure, we'll go first. But they have the Arceus deck box. I really just hope this is not ADP. It's just always such a miserable deck to play against. So short, we'll just lead with the Alakazam, that's fine. We'll save this hand as well. Okay, so you see the Crobat. That doesn't really tell us too much, though. I would like to get a Milcery down. So let's see if we can hit one off the Crobat for 2. Okay, that's actually a really good combination of cards to get. The next turn we have the Alcremie, we have Attachment, Erica, Dedenne, all sorts of good stuff. So just pass it over to our opponent here. Okay, so it is going to be Eternatus. So this is definitely a matchup where I could see the Hoopa sort of pulling its weight for us a little bit here. There's going to be a Great Ball from our opponent as well. Probably looking for a Crobat to refresh their hand a little bit, I would imagine at least. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Eternatus... Oh, Eternatus is not resistant to Psychics. That's good. Yeah, that's the older Dark Pokemon have the Psychic resistance. So, yeah, Eternatus is definitely going to be hard to one-shot. So Hoopa definitely, I think, needs to be the Pokemon we want to soften things up with. So they are going to find their Slowbro. Now, I don't think the Slowbro is probably too impactful just because Eternatus can pretty easily one-shot Alakazam no matter what. Just because Alakazam only has 190 HP. Dark-City is also good for us too. I actually don't even know if I want to bump this from play, to be honest. Just always having the free retreater with Crobat and Hoopa feels pretty nice if that is what we want to do. And our opponent's hand is massive. They do need to be careful about that. There's the switch. There's the Power Accelerator. Oh, and they don't have the energy to accelerate. I think we can actually just get a knockout. If we do, that's huge. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, plus the Alcremie. Yeah, guys, I think we're in a good spot. So first, we're going to kick things off with Erica. Yes, we would look to draw 3 cards. Okay, solid cards to get. We get a second Milcery. We have our Alcremie still. They're probably thinking, do we draw the 3 cards? I Oh, they are, man. So that's definitely bold of them. So I think we're gonna actually save this hand for the moment. And just do this. I don't know if they're not familiar with Alakazam, but it's not like Gengar Mimikyu. It's 30 times all of their cards, not just trainers. So I think we're just gonna chill for the moment. In case they play down their hand low next turn, we want to save this Alcremie to be able to force them to draw at least one more card. So hey, scoop up net, that's fantastic prize, and research also, you know, I'll be happy to take. So here's gonna be Slowbro. Now if they don't reset our hand, we do have boss, so that could be good for us. And that actually might even be how we win this. So let's see how many cards. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 240 right now. Okay, so it looks like they are attempting to play down their hand a little bit here. And just a research. So probably looking for 2 energy, I would imagine. Okay, so this does look like the poison Eternatus. That's fine. I think we can just win by knocking out this Eternatus, and then ideally just one more bench there. But they're playing their hand down pretty low here. Now if they go for Crobat, okay, they're gonna go for Slowbro, so that's probably a good idea on their part. They don't want to refill their hand any more than they have to against us. Yeah, their hand is like down to nothing at this point. Yeah, if they just leave the last card in their hand to be a supporter or a Crobat, that's basically what they want to do, I think. Okay, so good call on their part. Now, is there a world where we get a KO still? Let's see, how many Pokemon with abilities? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could hit for 90 on this guy, which doesn't feel awful. So we might even just retreat and... So we need 6, right? No, we need 7 cards in here. I don't think we can actually pull that one off, though. I mean, we can try. There's a world where it happens. So let's go for the Alcremie to start with. I really don't want to research this hand. That's the big thing. If we don't knock this out, I think our path to victory is probably knocking out 1 bench setter and 1 Eternatus VMAX, more than likely. So if we get, what, like a surprise box or 2? If we get 2 surprise boxes, that'd be 6 cards in hand, but that's still not enough, unfortunately. I think no matter what, our turn involves retreating over here. Well, Erica. There is actually a world where maybe we bait them into drawing cards after we've retreated and then scoop up net this guy for a KO. Okay, so they're not going to do that. That actually would have been pretty decent for us. So I think for the moment, we're just going to quick ball away our Latios here. Just grab another Alakazam. Let's see. Oh wait, we need to have bossed. Well, I mean, I guess this is still fine. I think we can still work with this. So we'll go for the Turbo Patch. We do flip tails, which is a bit of a bummer. We'll just go for the Evil Admonition, soften up Eternatus over here. But yeah, I think we probably actually should have bossed the Krogunk. But I guess if they had gone and drawn the 3 cards, I think there's a world where we would have attempted to dig with Dedenne and get a knockout. So I guess it's fine. We can probably still get a KO on this next turn, more than likely, right? Oh, there's boss's orders. So that feels bad. But they're getting a lot of Pokemon play with abilities, meaning our Hoopa might still be able to do some work. So let's see. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're doing 150, right? And since our hand, yeah, I think we're actually just going to keep attacking with Hoopa for the moment. So we'll just do this. I don't want to discard any of these cards in our hand. And from there, we're just going to go for the Evil Admonition, I suppose. Because we don't want to toss 2 balls, 3 Research and Dedenne here. So hopefully they just have to go for the KO here. That would be ideal for sure. That way Alakazam can come in and get the KO. Okay, there's going to be a Hoopa of their own. That's fine. And just going to go for the Dread, and that's actually pretty big that I don't have the attachment down on this guy. So now we are definitely down to dig with our Alakazam here. Or dig the hit energy to attack with our Alakazam here. Okay, so that's cool. We can... Do I want them to draw cards if they're drawing this poorly? I think the question to that is more than likely no. So I think we're going to do this. We'll just go for another Alakazam. That's probably good. How many bosses orders? We do have a boss left after this turn if we do need to. Sure, let's just draw a card. I would like to not have to play a supporter here, if possible. Okay, we at least give them Surprise Box back. And give them a card back into their hand. There's nothing I really want them to have, to be honest, though. Like... Sure, we'll actually give them Eternatus V. That seems pretty useless at this point, so we'll just do that. And I think we might Dead change here, because if we whip, we want to be able to play support or keep digging for energy. So I think that's what we're going to do here. Feels bad getting rid of 2 balls, though. Not happy about that. Okay, but we do get what we need. So we can just do this here. Retreat over here. And I'm going to save this Erica. Well, no, we'll play Erica. Because if we can hit boss, that would at least allow us to like seal up the game for next turn. So we do not, but more than likely our opponent will take the cards, I would imagine, at this point, just because this guy's going to get knocked out anyways, but that's fine. So we'll just go for the Turbo Patch as well. So an unfortunate Tails, and from there we're just going to go for the Mind Roar, take the KO over here on Eternatus, and now we're kind of in a decent spot. We just need boss to probably pick off something, because more than likely they're going to play down their hand kind of decently on this turn. There's Slowbro. Oh, yikes. They can actually get a KO with Hoopa. That feels bad. I just remember. Oh, wait, no. Hoopa doesn't hit for weakness. Oh, my God. I got so scared there for a second. Okay, thank God. So we are safe from a KO this turn no matter what. Unless they play, like... Yeah, they would need something weird to pull it off. I think we're good. Now, actually, if they played the same Hoopa we did, that could have been a problem, but... Man, they only have 7 cards left in deck. I just realized that. And there's going to be a Marnie, which is a bit unfortunate since we did have some surprise boxes in our hand to work with. yeah, just kind of bad, but. So it looks like they are just going to retreat, attack us with Hoopa, but if they don't play down another card, we still just win either way. Because they're going to hit us for 90, then the triple from Poison's only 120. Yeah, and that's going to be the game, because Hoopa's got 120, and they have 4 cards in hand, so that's going to be there. So we ended up taking the game against Eternatus here. Turret Patches really hated this game, but hey, that's fine. Just going to go for the Mind Ruler, and that is pretty much going to wrap things up. So Alakazam taking down... kind of surprisingly taking down Eternatus, I have to say. This didn't seem like a matchup that would be too good, but hey, we'll take it. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up our look here at the Alakazam V deck. Like I did mention at the beginning of this video though, Alakazam probably not the most competitive card right now, but like I said, it's exciting to have Kadabra be allowed to be printed as a card again. Now, whenever that happens, who knows? We're not sure exactly, but it is nice to know that this evolution line probably will get some more representation in the TCG down the road in future sets. But that's going to wrap things up today, guys. If you did enjoy today's video, of course, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you can support this channel by becoming a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or by picking up some merch from our online store at rarecandytcg.com, it would mean a lot. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.